Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at Radix XRD. I get a lot of requests for this one, uniquely enough. It has done very well in the past and just kind of looks like it's on track and back on fire. So we're going to take a look at that and much more. We're going to take a quick peek also at Elliott Wave, kind of see what that looks like, as well as a kind of more of a macro analysis here. Now, granted, there isn't a tremendous amount of data. I mean, we can go back maybe roughly about less than a year. So technically there's not a tremendous amount, but there are some areas in which you want to kind of pay attention to. We can kind of see the price bounced off this previous resistance level here, right in the range of about 7.4. Okay, so we'll pay attention to that and kind of see what's going on. We'll also redraw out some Fibonacci retracement levels and kind of see what's going on and see how much further up it could go if it were to continue, right? It's important to recognize that. So if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, love to teach people to trade. Truly hope you can learn something here today. If you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a website. I actually offer a trading academy, community, and signals group where we all learn and grow together. It's a phenomenal experience. I have discounts for third world countries, military, and of course, students as well. So be sure to reach out if you have fit that profile and you want to consider joining. We just took some healthy profits with Bitcoin and Ethereum for some shorts, but XRD is now on my radar. I want to kind of see what's going on here and see if we want to maybe set some alerts and potentially send out some signals for this. So that being said, let's take a quick peek at the RSI. First and foremost, kind of like my home base, if you will, on the daily more specifically, we can see we got that nice little clean bounce off of 50 on the RSI. Money flow index is staying roughly the same. So that's a good sign. That means there's more money flowing into this, essentially allowing for it to not go any lower than the current support level. Okay, now once again, that support is 7.3 cents, and that was a previous resistance range. You can see that it hit that range a few times. Now that we're above that, we should likely hold above. Okay, so if you've ever heard the term, resistance flip support, that's essentially what's happening. This was a previous resistance level turned into a support level. What's really cool about this, and this is something you see in price discovery, where the price comes up above that resistance level, comes back down to retest it, like that 2 days of retest, and comes back up. We got 2 more days of retest and comes back up. So we were in pretty good shape there. It's definitely looking good. Keep in mind this could be a descending type of trend that's creating itself, right? It could be descending and then eventually break out to the downside if you retest that support level too many times, but we're not going to worry about that just yet because we're not there. I think it's important to look at some other things as well here. So let's take a quick peek at the Fibonacci retracement. There's nothing on the MACD there as well. Let's just jump right into the 4-hour and kind of see, because it's so much easier to see these little patterns here. So in the 4-hour time frame, when we take a quick peek at the Elliott wave, we can kind of see that we've completed our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern right through. So there's the up wave essentially. What it is established as higher highs and higher lows. So you're seeing higher highs here and higher lows, of course. Okay, so the 2 and the 4 are higher lows, the 1, 3, 5 are higher highs. That's already been established. We've hit our highest point, obviously, right there at about 15.2 cents. Now, with the price coming down, we have an ABC pattern. It's a very common characteristic for Elliott wave where the price action will come back down to create a lower low and lower high. Okay, so we see this lower low, lower high, and of course, there's typically always a second lower low to complete that pattern. This is the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. Coincidentally, that line right there is a previous resistance level here, where the price couldn't pass that 6-cent mark. Okay, so 6 cents would be a secondary support level, if you will, that if we do end up losing 7.4. So keep that in mind. That'd be a good dollar cost average target. Keep in mind as well that now that we've hit this little lower high rather, we do have a lower low to come. Okay, so a strong probability that XRD will come back down here to retest this lower level. Is it a guarantee? No, definitely not. I see this happen infrequently where the price action will not hit that. But for the most part, it's a very common characteristic. It's statistically a higher probability the price is going to come down than come up from here. Okay, so that being said, we're on a MACD convergence here. This is a very bullish sign. We're also above 50 in the RSI on the 4-hour. That's also a very good sign, because if you look at its history, you can see when it stays above 50 on the RSI, it does some pretty wonderful things. Okay, so we want to stay above 50 on the RSI if at all possible. If we do lose that, I would say it's pretty obvious that the price will probably continue lower and potentially hit that little 6-cent mark there to fulfill the ABC pattern. All right, again, potential reality, is it 100%? Absolutely not. 1 hour is nice. I do like this. We are establishing higher highs and higher lows. Extremely important when you're trying to continue to ascend. Keep in mind though, this does have some patterns here, which is somewhat concerning. We have basically a what's the right word for this? It's a bear flag pattern where the price comes up, goes down, works itself into a wedge, and then comes back down again. Okay, so the fact that we keep rejecting off this Fibonacci retracement level here is a little concerning for me. So it does look like it wants to break down in that regard, but it could also break up too, because that's a funny thing about this. It's one of those unique situations where you kind of have two different signs going on. You've got this strong resistance level that's going to be broken, because the more often you test the resistance level, the more likely it is to break. But you also have the fact that the price came all the way down, and now it's working itself into this, bear flag type of pattern, and a probability of breaking down is even further. So to me, I think that's kind of looking a little more indicative of further downside. But once again, let's see if there's anything else here that kind of tells us that. So if we take a look at the Ichimoku cloud, we do actually have confirmation here that we're in decent shape for a long position. In other words, you want to hold your position open for the next 5 or 6 hours. We cannot break through this wedge here, this ascending type of pattern, can't break that resistance. I think it's time to short. Now, I don't like to short into the cloud. I don't think it's great because this is a confirmational sign that we're on the right side of the tracks. So I'd definitely wait to take a short or a long, honestly, at this point. But what could very well happen is it could either A, break to the upside, get rejected here and come back down, or it could continue to squeeze itself and then come back down and bleed out. But in truth, it could also go up as well. So I know it's like, okay, why am I even bothering watching this, right? The price is going up, down, and sideways at the same time. Of course it's going to potentially go up or down. Well, of course, that's how statistical probabilities work. But if we look at the bigger picture here and the overall sense of things, we can see there is some strength in the larger time frames, and the fact that we haven't broken, below 50 on the RSI in larger time frames, that's a very helpful cause. I do think that XRD has a lot more potential to continue higher than it does lower. Just be mindful of the fact that there is potential for this bear flag to continue, especially if Bitcoin sells off pretty hard, which I am expecting Bitcoin to retest 27,000, potentially break down. If that were to happen, you can expect a retracement from XRD. Okay, so please recognize a lot of these things are contingent on one another. If we take a quick peek here at Bollinger Bands, we are starting to pinch a little bit there. As that starts to get a little tighter, you start to see potential for breakout. So I am speculating we're going to see a decent breakout either up or down from XRD here very, very soon, probably in the next 24 hours, just based on the way that things are kind of working themselves out. So really cool stuff in that sense, but also not great. I do feel like we might see that ABC pattern fulfilled on the 4 hour to be able to get that 6 to 7.4 cent range kind of retested, if you will, because you got to think about it, there's not a lot of volume in this range. Most of the volume is going to be lower here at the 5 to 6 cent range, and we can kind of see when we look at the volume profile, there's obviously a tremendous amount down here where there's a pretty big gap in this range. Okay, so those gaps have a tendency of getting filled. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, one last quick favor, if you could please help us grow our Twitter community. It is, of course, an awesome experience to be able to bring that to our community members, but please be sure to check that out if you could and just help us grow. Obviously, like and subscribe here as well if you could and you find benefit. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you all in the next video. Take care.